Welcome back to Praxis Test Prep. If you're new here, we're all about helping you pass your teacher certification exams with ease and confidence. Today, I want to tackle things from a bit of a different angle and focus on my top 5 mistakes to avoid when taking the Praxis Core Reading exam. These insights come from years of working with Praxis test takers and hearing what went well and what didn't on test day. Ready to get started and learn what not to do? Let's jump right in. Many test takers try to save time by skimming the passages too quickly. While time management is important, it's crucial not to sacrifice comprehension for speed. Take the time to read each passage carefully to ensure that you are not missing key details or misinterpreting the text. Quick tip: newspaper articles are a great place to test your reading comprehension skills. Practice reading through an article quickly but thoroughly, and then quiz yourself with general questions about what the article was about. If you find yourself struggling to answer, that may mean that you read too quickly. This is perhaps an extension of the first mistake, but another common error we see is test takers overlooking key words or phrases in the questions themselves. Important information is often indicated by keywords and phrases such as however, for example, and in contrast. These phrases are critical because they signal how you are expected to answer the question, and failing to notice these can lead to incorrect answers, particularly on inference and detail questions. A quick tip: make a list of common signpost words to look out for in Praxis test questions. This includes words like most or best, which indicate that there may be several correct options, but one is more correct than the others. Main or primary, which indicate that you are being asked to identify the central focus of a given passage. Always indicates that the correct answer must be true without exception. An example question might be phrased as according to the author, which is always an acceptable reason for a student to use their cell phone in class. The Praxis Core Reading exam does not penalize you for getting questions wrong. So the easiest thing that you can do to maximize your score is to make sure that you answer every question. Even if you are completely stumped by the question and have no idea where to even begin, you should always guess, because even a 20% chance of getting the question right is better than 0. Also, make sure to keep this in mind when thinking about how much time you have for the exam. The Praxis Core Reading exam is a timed 85-minute exam, and you will want to leave at least 5 minutes at the end to ensure that you can submit an answer for every question. Many of our test takers understand that they should guess, but find themselves stuck on harder questions and run out of time before they can get through every question. Avoid this by keeping an eye on the clock and ensuring that you set aside time at the end to submit guesses for any questions you haven't gotten to yet. Quick tip: practice with full-length timed tests to get used to the pacing. Develop a strategy for guessing intelligently on questions you're unsure about, such as eliminating clearly wrong answers first. Speaking of time management, it is very easy to get stuck on a single question. Don't do that. This test is specifically designed to not just test your knowledge, but also your speed. You are given 85 minutes to answer 56 questions, which isn't even 2 minutes per question. That means that if you ever do spend more than 2 minutes on a single question, you are now eating into your available time on each remaining question. I generally recommend that if you hit that 2-minute mark and still don't know the answer, then just guess and move on. If you have time at the end, you can always come back, but your first priority should be to give yourself a chance to carefully read through and answer each question on the test. Many of us have missed easy questions simply because we were rushing, and that time pressure only gets worse if you allow 1 or 2 hard questions to take up too much of your time. Quick tip: use a timer during practice sessions to keep track of how long you spend on each question. Train yourself to move on after a set time and mark questions for review if time allows at the end. Last but not least is not preparing for the test environment. It's one thing to solve problems leisurely on your own. It is another to do it in a timed and controlled setting, and whether you choose to take your praxis in a testing center or to take it at home, it's important that you prepare for test day by simulating the testing environment while you practice. That means timing your practice sessions, using only approved materials, and taking breaks only as allowed during the actual test. This may sound a bit intense, but trust me, forcing yourself to sit down for a full-length practice test at least once before your formal exam date will make you feel so much more comfortable and confident on test day. And there you have it, my top 5 mistakes to avoid when taking the Praxis Core Reading exam. If you would like to join our community of educators, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our Praxis test prep tips and strategies. Also, feel free to comment down below with any questions that we haven't answered yet in our video series. If you are looking for more Praxis test prep tips and techniques, check out our other videos. We're adding more videos to this channel every week as we tackle more of your questions, and don't forget to head over to study.com and consider one of our comprehensive Praxis test prep courses. Happy studying, and we'll see you in our next video.